Good evening and welcome to the Newshour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas G. Viewers, Rahul Gandhi is targeting the centre once again, accusing the BJP government of capturing institutions. But in his bid to target Modi, is he maligning India on foreign soil? That's the big debate today on the Newshour Agenda. We then move to Kerala, where the left government is planning a grand celebration to commemorate 4 years of Vijayan 2.0. But it's the figures that they are preparing, in fact, to spend on the celebrations that have raised eyebrows. Is such a lavish splurge of north of 100 crore rupees necessary at a time when the state is allegedly facing a cash crunch? That's the big debate at 10:30 p.m. on the Newshour Agenda. US Leader of Opposition Rahul Gandhi is at it once again, launching yet another strike from the United States. Rahul has once again targeted the Election Commission and spoke of irregularities in the Maharashtra polls. Addressing a gathering on foreign soil, Rahul Gandhi claimed that something's very wrong with the Indian system. He says that the Election Commission is a compromised panel. Watch what Rahul said from the US.
In simple terms, more people voted in the Maharashtra Assembly elections then there are adults in Maharashtra. This is the fact. The Election Commission gave us a voting figure for 5:30 in the evening. And between 5:30 in the evening and 7:30 in the evening, when the polls were supposed to have closed, 65 lakh voters voted. Now, that is physically impossible to happen. If we ask, they not only refused to give us the videography, they changed the law so that now you're not allowed to ask for the videography. So it's very clear to us that the Election Commission is compromised. It's very clear that there is something very wrong with the system.
Now, this is certainly not the first time that the Congress leader has targeted the Election Commission or voiced his opinion against the use of EVMs even. But viewers, Rahul Gandhi won't speak of his own party's track record when it comes to elections. While the Congress hasn't fared too well even in ballot paper elections in the last few years, let's take a quick look at some of the figures that we're talking about. This is what we're talking about how we had seen in Telangana MLC election, the BJP has won 2 of 3 ML seats. This is as of March 7, 2025. There's also, of course, polling using ballot paper as far as these polls are concerned. But the Congress, of course, continues to demand that their ballot papers be used. In the Uttarakhand local body polls, the BJP won 10 out of 11 mayoral seats. This is of 26 January 2025, and in fact the Congress drew a blank as far as these elections in Jan 25 are concerned. The polling was held by ballot paper in this particular case as well. In the West Bengal Panchayat elections as well, Congress got 4.5% of the votes. This is in July 2023. And of course, the TMC got 51% of the votes that were polled in this particular election. Polling was held by ballot paper in this election as well. This is, of course, some of the elections where, in fact, ballot paper was posed. And there are serious questions about what really is happening. The BJP has been quick to react and, in fact, pounced on the Congress party. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi has now targeted Rahul Gandhi, says that he's once again exposed his true colors as a serial offender on foreign soil. Every time he travels abroad, he spares no opportunity to demean India, insulting its democracy and question its constitutional institutions. Such repeated attacks clearly reflect his deep-rooted anti-India mindset. No responsible leader maligns their own country on global platforms, and Rahul Gandhi's obsession criticizing India overseas is disgraceful. He owes an apology to the nation, is what the Union Minister is saying. Now, clearly, citing the Enforcement Directorate's action, the BJP has said that he's choosing to attack the EC to vent out his frustration over the ED. They've also gone on to brand him a Soros agent. But in his bid to attack the Modi government, has Rahul's decision to call out the Indian system on foreign soil backfired? And is he instead maligning the country to target the Prime Minister?
देखिए, राहुल गांधी जॉर्ज सोरोस के एजेंट हैं और जॉर्ज सोरोस ही बताता है इनको कि क्या करना है, कैसे कपड़े पहनने हैं, कैसी एक्टिंग करनी है। राहुल गांधी ट्रेटर हैं। एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट के गुस्से को आप इलेक्शन कमीशन पर निकाल रहे हो, इससे कुछ नहीं होगा।
सबकी अपनी एक विरासत होती, हर परिवार की, हर व्यक्ति की, हर संगठन की एक विरासत। राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ और भारतीय जनता पार्टी, इनकी विरासत मुखबिरी की है, छल कपट की है।
दुनिया भर में कितनी भी बदनामी करके वो चुनाव नहीं जीत सकते, इससे उनका ही कद छोटा होता जाएगा।
देखिए, तथ्यात्मक बात कर रहे हैं राहुल जी। राहुल जी की बात का जवाब देना चाहिए। कीचड़ उछालने से बेहतर है चुनाव प्रणाली के अंदर पूरी तरह से पारदर्शिता होनी चाहिए।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Listening this across to our guest, joining us with us is Dr. Ajay Alok, BJP's national spokesperson. With us also is Ratan Sharda, author. Shaina NC Shiv Sena leader is with us. Tehseen Purawala, political analyst with us. Salem Dhanidharan, DMK national spokesperson with us. But let me begin first and foremost with Anish Gawande, NCP SP's national spokesperson. Anish Gawande, you know, it's very clear Mr. Rahul Gandhi has raised certain questions. But this entire issue of how there were so many voters who voted in the last few hours, or how the number of voters drastically increased, all of this has been explained by the Election Commission, saying that there were about 40 lakh voters who were added between the Lok Sabha elections and the assembly polls. And all of these are issues that have already been clarified. Why is Mr. Rahul Gandhi raising these issues once again, and that too on foreign soil, in your view?
Madhav, thank you for having me on your show today, and I'm glad to be joined by some spectacular fellow panelists. To start off with, 4 months ago, Supriya Tai, Sanjay Raut and Rahul Gandhi had a press conference in New Delhi and asked a series of questions to the Election Commission of India. The Election Commission said that they would respond within 2 days. It's been 4 months, but a formal reply has yet not reached the 3 political parties. We asked for one simple thing, Madhav. We asked for the voter list. What is going on in the country today that the voter list for the state of Maharashtra
Anish, that's
is
not
not
necessarily
publicly
true. The EC
available to
did
the
issue
people
a
of this
statement where they
country
clarified the
on the Election
position.
Commission's website.
Once again, this Anish, let's set the record straight over here.
But
The Election Commission put out a statement
cannot
where they gave a
selectively
point-by-point
respond to some of the
rebuttal of
concerns,
several of
Madhav.
those issues raised.
No, but why is the voter list still not here? But there was not a formal statement
So the
issued to
voter
political
list in
parties.
every
A tweet
assembly
does not
constituency,
a
every
response
booth
make,
is there
Madhav.
with every political party, is it not?
No.
Our Form 17 is not issued in terms of the total number of
No,
votes
but
cast.
why is it not publicly uploaded to the website? What is the voter list today? Madhav, tomorrow if I want to know who's voting in the BMC elections, why is the EC deliberately hiding the voter list?
Is there a question? Okay, Dr. Ajay Alok, respond to that. Why is the EC deliberately hiding the voter list? To the best of my knowledge, in the Form 17, at the booth level, every party has that data. But please respond to Anish. He says, why not publish the entire voter list as we have demanded?
Anish, first of all, Anish should know that creating false narrative don't help. The days are gone. Election Commission has given a clear-cut reply. Now a simple question I'm asking. Rahul Gandhi is challenging Election Commission that 65 lakhs votes were polled after 5:30 to 8 p.m. Maharashtra has 1,02,000 votes. So 65 lakh votes means how much? 65 votes per booth. Is that not possible? I agree to you. Not possible. That accounts to only 8% of polling what happened from 5:30 to 8. What happens in Jharkhand? There comes 10% polling from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. That is fine. That is digestible and palatable by Rahul Gandhi. Let's forget this. I don't want to get into that. Election Commission and Amish is just trying to divert the issue. The issue is Rahul Gandhi insulted India again.
No.
When they started 2017, Berkeley University. 2017, Berkeley University started. When the first time he spoke about against his country, well, he doesn't consider this country as a country. He says that this is a union of state. That is a state of mind. I am today really aghast that Allahabad High Court has asked from the center whether he is citizen or not. Because if he is not a citizen of this country, he has accepted other nationality, then we get all the answers. That why he's speaking all this and why he's rattling all this is 2017. But
Okay.
if he's a citizen of this country and he's blaming the country and is blaming the institutions
No, Madhav,
all together from 2017 just out of utter frustration, this is nothing else.
Okay, there are two questions. There are two questions that you're raising essentially, and I think it's a factually important correction, question that you're raising, Ajay Alok. I want to put this to Tehseen. Tehseen, how is it possible that when there is a jump in voters or the vote percentage, when it comes to states where the Congress or Congress allies have won the election, the example of Jharkhand has been cited by Dr. Ajay Alok, then there is no problem. Suddenly there's a problem when it comes to Maharashtra. And all of these have very clearly been explained. You and I know that if you walk into a polling booth at 5:59, if 6 is the deadline, any number of people who walk in will be allowed to vote. And the number that is declared is anyway about a 2-hour-old figure. We all know how the counting process happens, so it appears that there are many bogies that have been put up now, by opposition political parties in a bid to malign the Election Commission. Why? In fact, you have the BJP which says that because Rahul Gandhi is part of the Soros gang.
Thank you so much, Madhav, for having me on the show. Fabulous panelists, I agree with Anish. Let's get to the answers. The question Shri Rahul Gandhi Ji raised is that in the Maharashtra elections at around 5 o'clock, there was a percentage of voting given on the given to us, which was roughly around after which 65 lakh voters increased, roughly about 7.83% that was increased. That is the increase in which from 58.22 to 65.02, quoting the exact Election Commission numbers. Dr. Ajay Alok Ji said, well, in the same Jharkhand elections during the same time, it was 10%. No, the Election Commission officially shows, I want every Times Now viewer to Google the Election Commission, Jharkhand 2024, difference between 5 p.m. and final figures, also Grok it or ChatGPT. The exact difference in phase 1 and phase 2 in Jharkhand was 1.62% and 0.86%. Again, I want every Times Now viewer, including you, Madhav, to fact check me on this. That was the difference. Now, second fact check for me. Please do this on every Lok Sabha election, every assembly election, and tell me another state where this difference has been 7%. The Election Commission's reply to this answer of Rahul Gandhi Ji, this allegation of Rahul Gandhi Ji, Supriya Tai and Sanjay Raut Ji and Uddhav Thackeray Ji has not been the Jharkhand response to Dr. Ajay Alok GK. Its response was, listen, it took us time to collate the data. Therefore, it took us time. And between 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock was this number that was increased. In fact, between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock, there was another 1% increase. So please check your 17C forms. Nobody is objected. Now, as somebody who's done election management on the ground, China's actually contested. The fact of the matter is that what the election agent is given at a 17C form, they accept it until the complete data is collated, where we saw that number between 5% at 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. to be this difference of 7% which was stunning. I'm again repeating. The question asked to the Election Commission was, how did it increase 7%? Please tell us any other state or Lok Sabha election where it's increased. The answer given to us is, please check your 17C form. Nobody's giving to us. So that is the question that is not being answered.
You're not getting
now
the
you
form
have the
17C.
right to abuse Rahul Gandhi Ji.
You're not getting the form 17C.
We got this form 7. Again, Madhav, may I just clarify? They gave us a number on form 17C. Nobody is disputing it. Nobody is disputing it.
So does that number not add up then?
No, it doesn't. Because when you saw the 17C final number versus actual polling at 5 p.m. and you compare it with any other assembly or Lok Sabha election, that difference of 7% is never there. So yes, they gave us the final number.
This is a very serious, this is very serious charge that you're leveling, Tehseen, and I want to bring in China, given that she's contested elections. China NC, I want you to respond to Tehseen. He says that this 7% gap is a mystery that has not yet been resolved. This kind of gap does not exist and has not existed in other states. What explains this? And he also says that he alleges that 17C data does not add up. Very big charge that he's making here. I don't know the basis of what he's saying this, but it's a very serious charge, China. I'd like you to respond to Tehseen.
1 second to clarify what I'm saying.
You made your point. You said that this data doesn't add up.
Madhav, I want to respond on 2-3 points.
Just 1 second. I'll take less than 30 seconds. I am saying the number on 17C may be the correct number. I'm not disputing it. But when you compare it with 5 o'clock... Please allow me. Please, I'll take 10 seconds. When you compare it with 5 o'clock to 17C, in no other state is a difference of 7%. I'm talking about a difference of 7%.
Tehseen, can I just tell you one thing? At 5 o'clock, the data that comes in is about 2 hours old. And that's what always happens as far as his voter turnouts are concerned. But nevertheless, this is a question you're asking of the BJP and its allies. I want China to respond. China, please respond.
Madhav, please now, since I've listened to everyone patiently, give me a fair hearing. Rahul Gandhi first chooses not to speak in parliament, chooses to absent himself at all crucial debates, and then chooses to speak on international soil, whereas a true patriot, one should be speaking about their country and his vision plan for the country. He chooses to call the Election Commission of India as if it's some kind of a prop. Now this, let me please use this word for him, this elitist mindset of this child of India, or this entitled child of India, if I may say, What has he said? He has cast aspersions on the Election Commission. The Election Commission has already dismissed the allegations as misleading, factually incorrect, and what are the facts they have put in the public domain? That first, hardly were there any first or second appeals when it came to Section 24 under the Representation of the People's Act. There were minimal applications that were received for correction, that is Section 22, or inclusion Section 23. This is all vis-a-vis Maharashtra elections that he has chose to brew as the actual bone of contention. Now, during the special summary revision, published in the public domain on 6th and 7th of June 2025, I don't understand what answers they haven't got, because the SSR has had prior elections and the standard procedure is to ensure integrity as well as the electoral roll. Now, adding new voters is the job of the Election Commission, and those who have been removed if they're duplicates and deceased. And for all of y'all who are talking about Maharashtra elections, the Election Commission sources clearly say there were only 89 appeals that were recorded in Maharashtra. So what is this hue and cry? And if Mr. Rahul Gandhi is so ill-informed, I think this timing is also questioned. When India-US relationship is at an all-time high and he chooses to be this loud mouth thrashing India's image on foreign soil, and clearly he has no idea of what is a roadmap or a vision plan. So for this entitled child of India, I would only say continue to be an entitled child, but
let me just add some data. China and let me just add some data. And I want to bring back Tehseen into this. Tehseen, between 14 and 19 in Maharashtra assembly elections, 63 lakh voters were added. Do you know how many voters were added between 2009 and 14 assembly elections? Are you aware of the number?
We are discussing.
It is at 75 lakh voters, sir. The total number of voters added in the previous assembly election was much higher. So if anything has to be questioned, it is how, when on a larger population base, how a lesser voters added. And these addition of voters also is being questioned today by Rahul Gandhi. It's the job of the EC to add young voters and new voters to the poll list.
Madhav, again, the question that Anish and I asked is very specific. That from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock, show us another state or Lok Sabha where 7% is added. The answers we've got is Jharkhand 10%, which is not true. Rahul Gandhi is pampered. He's a dynast. He's this, he's that. Election Commission says checks for 17. See, I'm just asking one question. On live TV, show me another state or Lok Sabha where between 5 and 11, 7% is added.
Okay.
And if it is added,
Ajay Alok, it's your question or your claim on Jharkhand that is also being questioned. So I'm going to allow you a chance to rebut that before I go across to others. Quick response, please.
Madhav, first of all, I would like to tell you that you are regressing from your debate. You are just going all around Election Commission figures, and here we are talking about a sycophant, an insane fellow who happens to be our leader of opposition. He goes to another foreign soil and he continuously insults Indian institution. And you are regressing about what he says about Election Commission, that whether it is true or false. We are no one to question Election Commission. They are Supreme Court. Go and ask them. Go and file a case.
Of course, but the facts that they are presenting are not adding up, Ajay Alok. That is the point we are making.
You failed to discuss that, Rahul Gandhi.
Please, let's tell Nishikant Dubey
that's not a point. He just keeps on speaking false things.
Let's not insult the Supreme
He has
Court.
apologized. He has apologized. Supreme Court.
Let's not insult
He has
the
apologized to
Election
Supreme
Commission.
Court without any if and buts about Rafale case. He's a serial offender. He is a serial offender.
Supreme Court should not decide.
He is a serial offender. And today his citizenship is in question.
Okay, one by one, please. One by one.
Whatever you are speaking in between. Just tell me one thing. Yeah, just tell me one thing. All those who are favoring Rahul Gandhi, tomorrow if his citizenship comes in a question, it's already in a question, and tomorrow if it is proved that he is not a citizen of this country, will all these people standing right from my friend Tehseen to all this, will they support Rahul Gandhi?
Question on his citizenship, Anish. Okay, Anish wanted to respond to you. Anish,
he's a traitor.
Your government.
At a time when there are serious questions on his citizenship, why is he going on foreign soil and discrediting India? At the end of the day, this is a huge disservice to Indian democracy, Anish.
Madhav, what utter nonsense.
Will they be
to
able
be a
to defend him
patriot is to
tomorrow?
question your government and your
No, it's not seen anywhere. I don't think.
Please tell
you have Mr.
Nishikant
J.D.
Dubey-
Vance coming
please
here.
tell Nishikant Dubey to be a patriot when he calls S.Y. Qureshi. When he calls S.Y. Qureshi a Muslim commissioner, not an election commissioner, tell Nishikant Dubey to be a patriot. When Nishikant Dubey
And not a
says the
reply
Supreme
from
Court
S.Y.
should
Qureshi.
stop
Not a
working
reply from
so that
S.Y.
Parliament
Qureshi.
can function,
When he
tell him to
questions
be a
S.Y.
patriot.
Qureshi,
When Nishikant
during
Dubey
your tenure,
criticizes the
Maxim
institutions that
Bangladeshi
you are defending,
became
tell Nishikant
voters
Dubey
of
and the
Jharkhand.
BJP.
Gentlemen, calm down. Let's calm down, please. This is a serious. These are very serious questions. I'm just requesting both of you. Okay, let me bring in Ratan Sharda on this point. Ratan Sharda, the equivalence that Anish Gawande is drawing is he says that, on one hand, you have the BJP which criticizes Rahul Gandhi, perhaps rightly so, perhaps wrongly so. I'm not getting into that. But he says that at the same time, just as Rahul Gandhi is questioning an institution, you have a member of parliament of the BJP, Mr. Nishikant Dubey, who's questioning the Chief Justice of India, who is the head of the Supreme Court, the judiciary. How do you respond to this allegation coming in from the NCPSP?
Madhav, I could have responded to this, but I don't want to divert the debate. The whole idea of NCPSP is to divert the debate to issues which are not the current topic of this particular debate. Now, I'll quote you one thing. What did Supreme Court said? They said, how many petitions shall we entertain about EVM and VVPAT? This is the question Supreme Court asks all these petitioners because they keep on going to Supreme Court claiming that EVM is manipulated, EVM is wrong, we want 100% VVPAT. Every time Supreme Court says everything is fine, they comment that we don't want to go back to ballot boxes, which these people enjoyed looting and having field day, whether it was Maharashtra, whether Bihar, whether UP. We want to go back to those days. Sorry, we will not go to those days. What you might say. Now, you talk about why Rahul spoke there. If Rahul is correct, see, why 7% difference? That is a question. But because others don't do it, it doesn't happen. When we had a low voting percentage, 55%, it increased to 65%. Did we say why 10% voting has increased? It increases. People get enthusiastic. So what? Now, Rahul, why does Rahul say that? Rahul does not find audience here. Nobody, listens to him. Nobody is actually assured by what he says. He doesn't go to courts. When Maharashtra is such an open and shut case, as per Tehsil, why don't they go to courts? They have gone to courts every time they got a slap from the courts. Now they're again raising it. You raise it in India. Take out more charge. Go wherever you want to go. And to talk about CEC, you forgot about Naveen Chawla. Have you forgotten MS Gill? As soon as he retired, he became Congress member. He became Rajya Sabha member of 12 years or something. So please let us not get to what it is. We are insulting our own institutions. We are raising doubts about our own institution. When you were in Jharkhand, when you were in Telangana or Punjab or Bengal or Karnataka, CEC is fine, EVM is fine. And imagine manipulating 1.5 lakh EVMs in Lok Sabha in Maharashtra alone. Imagine 30 lakh EVMs to be manipulated with chip level. Is it possible? What kind of doubts you are raising in the people's mind? It's hard-coded chip level software, hardware programming. Are you claiming that you will be able to change these CPUs in 30 lakh machines? Is it a joke? That to out of withdrawal of the application?
That appears to be the claim.
You got just 1 or 10 days or 7 days?
That appears to be the claim.
These are all unnecessary rumors, just trying to downplay and saying that in USA because nobody listens to here in India.
Salem Dhanidharan, I want you to respond to this point because, when the election commission, when the Congress party has spoken about, elections it has won in Himachal Pradesh, in Telangana, in Jammu and Kashmir, in Karnataka, then there are no doubts, or even Jharkhand. It is only when election losses happen that suddenly the issues of EVMs, of voter lists come out in the public domain. Now, isn't this double standard, sir?
And Madhav, why can't they go to the court?
I've listened patiently for 25 minutes. I hope I'm not interrupted. Right? So, firstly and foremost, the BJP spokesperson comes and tells how can Rahul Gandhi go and speak? What morality does he have? The fact of the matter, I should remind the viewers that the Prime Minister Modi was not even eligible to go to the US. His visa was rejected time and again. Only reason he's able to now visit the US is because he's the Prime Minister.
Salem, what does that have to do with this?
Can't go because he was risky in that country. So, is you think Rahul Gandhi going and speaking there, do you think is much worse than Prime Minister going and representing? I don't think so.
What is the connection between the two, sir?
Not about Prime Minister Modi or about Rahul Gandhi or about Dharani or Anish Gawade. The point is the Election Commission's institution compromised? Yes. Is the institutions of this country compromised? Yes. Election Commission, CBI, Income Tax are all become wings of the BJP party. What happened in 2024 elections? In 348 constituencies, votes polled and votes counted, there's a mismatch.
Selam Dhanidharan, when your party has come to power twice, one second, Selam Dhanidharan, your party has come to power twice in Tamil Nadu, right? Both times the election was conducted through the EVM. Will you say both times that the election was rigged then?
See, institutions was undermined. In spite of the overwhelming majority, we came to power. Just because Tamil Nadu...
There can't be a double standard here.
70% of the people
Answer my pointed question, Selam. Answer my pointed question. You can't run away from this. This is the point that has been made just now by Ratan Sharda, that when you win elections, it's all fine.
Complete, boss. You're not letting me complete.
No, I am asking you a specific question. Answer a specific question.
Let me complete, no?
Complete and answer my question.
Exactly, I'm coming. No. DMK could have come to power with 70% vote share. 70% vote share would have won. We won with 50% vote share. The remaining 20% was manipulation.
So, through the same EVM?
100%. You can
so the 20% manipulation, how did you calculate this?
BJP and ADMK in 2021 got
Selam, this is most interesting. How did you calculate this 20% variance?
Not because of manipulation. Otherwise, they would have got 2%.
No. How did you arrive at this 20% figure? Please tell us. I would love to know the methodology.
Completely manipulate. They manipulate to 20%. So in other states, when there's vote share difference between only 5 to 10%.
You lose, right?
Can I speak?
What a loser.
In other states.
What a loser. You can't even debate properly, my friend.
Who is a loser?
Heads I win, tails you lose. That is your language. You calculate 20% manipulation. What basis?
Attack. Stop the personal attack.
What basis? It's not personal attack. You made a statement just now.
I will tell you. I'll explain you math. I know better math than any of you.
What is the basis of this?
So how are you arriving at this 20% manipulation figure?
Because you have to go and understand, go read books. I'll suggest you books. I will suggest you political economy books. Go and study. Don't go and read WhatsApp messages so that you'll be able to understand. Right? When you start.
Sir, what does political economy have to do with anything related to vote counting?
If you go
this is psephology you're talking about.
6 hours and read WhatsApp messages, you will not be able to understand. The brain gets screwed up.
No. Selam, that is the
problem. I'll tell you how the institutions. You should understand how institutions work.
Postgrad in political economics.
Selam Dhanidharan, I'm asking you. All right, calm down, and listen to this point. A portion of what Supreme Court has said was cited by Ratan Sharda. I'm going to read out what the Supreme Court has said very recently. Repeated and persistent doubts and despair, even without supporting evidence, can have the contrarian impact of creating distrust. This can reduce citizen participation and confidence in elections, essential for a healthy and robust democracy. Is the Supreme Court also wrong now on this count?
Sir, no, but BJP party is only not trusting the Supreme Court after the verdict on governor with Tamil Nadu government.
But you trust the Supreme Court.
Tamil Nadu.
So, but you trust the Supreme Court.
Selectively, they don't like Article 142. But they like the same Article 142 when it's imposed on Ram Jambhumi. See, I leave everything. Association for Democratic Reforms.
Selam Dhanidharan.
What did they say? Vote for democracy. What did they say? There has been discrepancy.
Selam Dhanidharan.
Why are all the
It's NGOs, okay. Whataboutery is fine, but I am asking you a simple pointed question.
Yes, Lok Niti Survey.
Do you believe in the Supreme Court? And do you believe in this particular statement of the Supreme Court by that respect?
It's changing goalposts every time.
See, you can't selectively pick up any statement.
This is a judgment of the Supreme Court. No, once again, Ratan Sharda, please. Selam Dhanidharan, this is not any selective reading. This is a judgment of the Supreme Court when EVMs were challenged. It is relevant to this context of election management. Why do you say it's not relevant?
I've read the judgment, I've read that 800 odd pages. Leave that. I'm saying don't pick and choose. Read the entire judgment.
Yeah, so what is the question of picking and choosing? You please tell me what is there in the judgment?
People of India, first I'll tell you this. As a politician, I'm supposed to listen to the people. As per the CS-DS Lok Niti survey, 45% of the people say they don't trust the Election Commission. It's on record. Trust of the Election Commission has been reduced from 40% to 28%. So who's responsible? The responsibility lies with the union government to prove.
Sir,
why did all this happen?
It might very well be there, but they have not surveyed 140 crore. I am citing what has been put out by the Supreme Court. But let me bring in Ratan Sharda on that. Ratan Sharda, the trust of the people in institutions like Election Commission is what he's stating has come down. Please respond to him.
I compliment them for creating the distrust by continuously questioning, going to courts, losing the cases, still keep on doing that. I think the Chief Election Commission needs to file a defamation case against all these people who keep on quoting out of context and keep on raising issues which are non-relevant, which have been responded, which have been rejected by the Supreme Court. Still they go and create this mayhem. They should be pulled to the courts. Only then people's trust will come back.
All right. Tehseen, there is one problem that I will certainly ask you. And, last time round when Rahul Gandhi was abroad, some of the statements that he makes, such as, the entire question, if somebody is a Sikh, will he be allowed to wear a turban? The exact quote I want to read is that the fight is about whether he, as a Sikh, is going to be allowed to wear his turban in India, or he, as a Sikh, is going to be allowed to wear a kada in India. Now, where that or when that was a problem, I don't know what instance he was referring to, but the effect that we saw, the impact, was that Sikhs for Justice started praising Rahul Gandhi. Now, perhaps Rahul Gandhi, as leader of opposition, needs to be a little responsible in his commentary, sir. We certainly don't want institutions or organizations that are inimical to India, such as Seek for Justice, to be getting fodder. Ultimately, what are we doing on foreign soil?
May I just clarify one thing and I'll answer your question factually. A lot of misconception is being put about the opposition, and Anish, you may feel free to help me out here. Over 60 petitions, Madhav, because I'm involved in these petitions. Over 60 petitions have been filed in the court. Okay, we filed within the 45-day window. Now the courts haven't reached a conclusion. So coming on TV and saying, why don't you go to court? We've gone to court, 60 petitions. Now let me tell you, in Markwadi village in Sholapur, the winning candidates from NCP Sharad Pawar group, Anish's party. Despite that, the villagers have come said that the votes given to him are still less. BJP candidates got more votes, despite SP winning. Again, you say when you win, why don't you challenge EVM? The villagers, the SP candidate won, that is NCP Sharad Pawar group. Despite that, the villagers are saying the BJP candidate should not even have got the amount of votes he got. This also is a manipulation. Why didn't you allow for an open poll? The entire village was on the ground. Entire village. Why did you put 144? I'm asking you these questions. Rahul Gandhi is wrong, Sharad Pawar is wrong, Arvind Kejriwal wrong, Uddhav Thackeray ji wrong, everybody wrong. I am only speaking on data. I'm again asking you, 7%, give me another state election. Now what Ratan Chadha ji said, 10% can increase. I'm saying let there be 100% voting. I'm not disputing it. I am saying after 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock, show me another angle. Okay.
Since you've referred to what China said in terms of election petitions, those petitions have been filed, and we are referring to the data which is not seen in other states, is Tehseen's allegation. Your response to that, China?
Look, there have been only 89 cases in a state as large as Maharashtra, and the Election Commission has put this in the public domain. I don't understand 2-3 things. One, when they win, it is the mandate of the people. Even if that mandate of a people is created on a false narrative, we haven't cried hoarse and said that, the election needs to be relooked at. If you look at historically, Madhav, it was only in 1971 when Indira Gandhi, before the emergency, where the election commission was compromised, and in 1991 where Rajiv Gandhi wanted elections to be reheld. The fact is that the election commission has done a free and fair job repeatedly. Sometimes we have won, sometimes we have lost. We have never questioned the mandate of the intelligent Indian voter that believes in checks and balances. Okay. And you're questioning the increase in voting percentage. Let me please tell you, year after year, it's been about an average of 4.5%, which you have seen. If there are more first-time voters and there are less of those who are duplicates, I think you should welcome that rather than
I think the one thing that one must remember is that when it comes to questioning the election commission, Omar Abdullah said when you get 100 plus MPs using the same EVMs and you celebrate that as a sort of victory of your political party, you can't then a few months later turn around and say we don't like these EVMs because now election results aren't going the way we would like to. P. Chidambaram has said that I've been participating in elections using EVMs since 2004. I've personally had no bad experience, nor do I have any evidence to prove that there's been any kind of tampering. These are statements that have been made in the past by leaders of your own alliance, Anish Gawande. Should these statements not be taken seriously? And should perhaps Mr. Rahul Gandhi be consulting these leaders also before making such comments, which can have a huge impact on India's democratic image?
They should absolutely be taken seriously. The first statement that came from both Supriya Tai and Pawar Sahib was that any questions raised on the Election Commission should be raised very seriously and with a lot of care. Let me remind you that we have gone time and again to the Election Commission on the symbol confusion issue, where deceptively similar symbols have been allotted to candidates with the same name as NCP-SP candidates. We lost one Lok Sabha seat because of that in the 2024 elections. We lost almost 11 Vidhan Sabha seats because of that in the Vidhan Sabha elections.
Okay.
The job of the Election Commission is to convince every single voter that they have faith in the Commission, just like the Election
It's trust in the
Commission's
system.
job.
Okay, quick response from Ajay Alok, please, and we wrap up this debate. Ajay Alok, it's the job of the Election Commission to ensure that there is trust in the system, and that is what we are seeking. Your response to what's being stated here by Anish Gawande.
No, Mr. Anish and my DMK friend, I just have a suggestions to make to them. If they don't trust Election Commission, why Congress is running 3 governments? Resign. Say that, no, we don't trust the Election Commission. Why DMK is scared now? For the last 4 years, you were not scared of Election Commission when you won the election. Today, you are scared of Election Commission. It is the impending defeat glaring in front of your eyes. That's the fact. Second, third and the most important thing. In London, this Rahul Gandhi, the so-called LOP, the unfortunate born child, elite, respected child of this country. But unfortunate, I say, because he doesn't consider this country, India, as India. In London 2023, series of 4 remarks which insulted this country in front of the whole world. India is not a country, it's a union of states, as is prescribed in the constitution. He doesn't consider this country as a country. Second thing, no, we are coming. Pulwama, blast. Whereas our 40 CRPF soldiers were killed by Pakistan, he calls it as a car blast in London. What's the message? What's the message? Whom is he giving clean sheet to?
Okay. All right, we'll have to leave it there. There are several controversial remarks, including, of course, a huge chunk of the democratic model coming undone, which he, of course, referred to while he was in Europe, urging, of course, various democracies to intervene. But we'll have to leave it there. There are many points to debate on the story, but serious questions emerging certainly out of those comments. Dr. Ajay Alok, Ratan Sharda, Shaina NC, Tehseen Poonawala, Salem Dhanidharan, as well as Anish Gawande. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.